We're now joined on Times Radio by His Majesty King Charles.
It's very kind of you to accommodate me, Mr. Chorley.
And how is your Christmas? The whole family around?
Yes, a good 85% of them, yes.
Now, you're here because up against Basil Brush, you've got your own Christmas song.
It does make me chuckle. It is so absurd. But I never expected to be, again, speaking about it on a national current affairs station such as Times Radio. So
it's called This Time in Between.
Yes.
So
yes,
in a way, it's unlike any other Christmas song.
This is what I was aiming for, yes.
Yeah.
I remember many years ago, I was 19, and I was doing Christmas cover on Red Rose Radio up in Lancashire at the time,
nice.
1987. And I noticed that the lead up to Christmas had all of, Wizard, Band-Aid, Slade, all of those.
Yeah.
And then by about Boxing Day afternoon, all of those tunes were starting to feel a bit out of date. You couldn't really play them anymore.
Yeah.
And it was a long while till you could perhaps play Happy New Year by ABBA on New Year's Eve. And I thought, here are these few days between Christmas and New Year. They haven't got a tune.
Yeah.
This is a wasteland. If I can get planning permission for this area. And I thought, one of these days, I'm going to invent a song that can just sit between Christmas and New Year.
And it's about the bit between Christmas and New Year. Everyone loses all track of the days.
Yep, that's
Is it time to put the bins out?
Precisely. Yeah, there's, packs of half-eaten figs on the table, knitwear all over the floor, paper all over the floor, people playing darts and footballs on the telly, people queuing up. Shopping is a news item.
Yeah.
And I thought this moment where we're looking ahead to the year, as New Year is looming, we could do with a song for this. And I thought, I must invent one day. And it took me until 2020 to actually get around to do it in lockdown time. But anyway.
Now, John, you teased me because with a little bit of Les Dawson just then. You've been doing a tour this year as Les Dawson.
I have, yes.
How did that go?
Oh, it was wonderful. He's such a glorious soul and person to inhabit and to study and to be for a period of time. He was such a wonderful, lugubrious wordsmith, so full of philosophy. And he worked really hard, 16 years to become an overnight success. he really put in the miles. And, a fascinating character. And his comedy that was so full of warmth and so full of, yes, I'm getting right up to the microphone now to sound as Dawson-like as I possibly can. Every little joke was a mosaic piece that formed part of the wider story until the punchline came along and hit you like a pie in the face. And it was so
Go on,
full of philosophy.
give us your favourite Les Dawson joke.
Oh, it must be, resonant with the Christmas stars. As I gazed up to observe the majesty of the night sky, a purple vault fretted with a myriad points of light, as the stars glistened just like diamonds cast across black velvet. I watched in awe as the crescent moon ascended the horizon like an ambered chariot, across the zenith of the heavens towards the ebony void of infinite space, wherein the tethered belts of Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn lay forever festooned in their orbital majesty. As I gazed up to observe this majestic sight, I thought to myself, I really must put a roof on this lavatory. Classic, beautiful Les Dawson.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And what about your year, your 2022? Obviously, you do Dead Ringers.
Yes.
There's been a lot of change in the news.
Wow.
The people who've come and gone.
Yeah.
How's your Rishi Sunak?
Oh, I love doing Rishi. Yes, I love doing Rishi. When you start with a new voice, the first thing you think of is, who do they sound like? And I think with Rishi, it's, there's a little bit of Blair in there. There's that efficiency, that clipped way, but then we smooth it out and we bring in all of those phrases. I will do whatever it takes. I will work day in, day out. Trust is earned and I will earn yours. And if we have to solve the national debt by putting it on my wife's credit card, then so be it.
Is there a little whiff of Dale Winton in there?
There might be. It wouldn't
Just
be like Voice Neighbours.
Yeah,
yes, let's see if I can, Rishi, across here, we will work and day in, day out, it'll go wild in the aisles, and yes. Now, Liz, bless her, she made a few errors, but I'm here to fix them.
Oh, that's very... Boris Johnson. gone, or do you think will still be lingering in the background?
Well, he's there, isn't he? He's I dare think he'll be a pundit on many of those shows and these sort of like if you forget the script, you just let in and a few noises. He's always Lewis MacLeod, who does him on Dead Ringers. We share him from time to time. Good Boris and Bad Boris. Whenever he shows up, the audience always react. Showing up like
positively or negatively?
In a sort of positively.
Yeah, it's a mix.
A bit like when Mr. Blobby appeared. It's just a reaction.
Yeah, there is a reaction.
Of reaction.
Yeah. Well, John, I'm afraid we're going to have to let you go because we've got another big guest coming up on Times Radio next. But this time in between is available to listen to and download and buy right now.
Oh yes, on all of those, all the Spotify things and all the Amazon, whatever, all of those things that Obi-Wan Kenobi spoke about.
They're all there for you. John Culshaw, we've got to let you go because we've got a big guest coming up next on Times Radio. You're listening to Matt Chorley on Times Radio on Christmas Day. And I'm delighted to say we are now joined, he's got a busy day ahead. We're now joined on Times Radio by His Majesty King Charles.
It was very kind of you to accommodate me, Mr. Chorley. I thought before making the very big important speech, it might be rather nice to pop onto your programme and just get acclimatised, have a little jog round the park, as it were. This is a pre-season friendly for my speech later.
And how's the speech looking? Big moment at 3:00.
Well, I think it's very, very good. It's going to be very reflective, of course. And no matter how often one does these things, one always feels a great amount of nervousness. So yes, even though it's. Is it pre-recorded? I don't know. That might have been a rehearsal. But anyway, yes, I intend to. It's a very big moment once first.
And how is your Christmas? The whole family around?
Yes, a good 85% of them. Yes.
That's very. I mean, a busy year. You finally getting the job you've always dreamed of at the age of 70 something.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, thank you. Yes.
The long wait, but is it worth it?
I think it is. One always wonders how one is going to deal with the duties. I mean, as Prince of Wales, naturally, I would get up, spend the morning waving. The afternoon, I'd go and open a whiskey factory. But as king, the contrast, one might find oneself spending a morning opening a whiskey factory and waving in the afternoon. It's a big contrast.
You've had a lot to adjust to.
One has to take it very steadily, yes.
Well, of course, we've had 2 monarchs this year, but 3 prime ministers. So what we thought we'd do is see if you wanted to play our hugely popular quiz. Would you be interested in doing that for us?
I've heard this played many times, and it would be my great honour and amusement and a test of my mental agility to participate.
Okay, let's do this then. Let's play Can You Get to Number 10? Yes, it's time for our hugely popular quiz. Can you get to number 10? 10 questions loosely connected to 10 cabinet jobs. The more questions you get right, the better the job you get. Take your place alongside our listeners and guests. And if you make it all the way to number 10 and get that right, you'll cross our threshold and become our show's Prime Minister. Opening up, I would say, something of a constitutional crisis were His Majesty to become king. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready. I might as well do the job. I might as well.
It might bring some continuity. We could do with a new Prime Minister. We've not had one for, 4 or 5 weeks now. So, His Majesty King Charles, let's play Can You Get to Number 10? Question number 1, to become Minister without portfolio, complete this well-known phrase, live like a...
king.
Is the correct answer. Question number 2, for digital culture, media and sport, which TV quiz show did Prince Edward convince the royal family to take part in?
Oh, good heavens. Yes, good heavens. By Jove. I mean, he didn't take a great deal of convincing, but by Jove. Yes, it's a royal knockout.
Is the correct answer. Question number 3 from Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. Which potato grown on the largest Channel island is probably your favourite?
Ah, it's Jersey Royal.
Is the correct answer.
I think they're legal tender out there.
Question 4 for Transport Secretary. What was the name of the royal yacht decommissioned in 1997?
Oh, we miss it very terribly, Yes, Britannia, of course. Could be converted into a very good nightclub, I think.
Yes, so Michael Gove's got his eye on that. Question 5 for Education Secretary. What was the name of the remote Scottish school you were sent to when you were 13?
Ah, the memories, yes, of course. Gordonstown.
Is the correct answer.
Sounds like an American form of cheese that they put on burgers, doesn't it?
Question number 6 for Health Secretary. The hospital used by the royal family is named after which monarch? King Alfred or King Edward?
Ah, yes, King Edward.
There's more potatoes.
Exactly. And I think King Alfred's manner of surgery might have been a little bit crude. Might have been a bit...
Yes, from buns in the oven to burning the cakes or something. Question 7 for Home Secretary. What's the name of the family home in Gloucestershire you share with Camilla?
Oh, yes, that's where the biscuits and the posh candles come from. Highgrove, yes.
Is the right answer. Question 8 for Foreign Secretary. How often are the Commonwealth Games held?
Yes, very much like other similar events, the World Cup and the Olympics, every 4 years.
Every 4 years is the right answer. Right, question number 9 to become Chancellor. When are banknotes with your image due to be released into circulation according to the Bank of England?
Well, it's the year after next, isn't it? 2024. But by then we'll all be a cashless society anyway. Just tapping our damn cards. That's the point.
And finally, King Charles III. Question number 10 to become Prime Minister. Who is your favourite Prime Minister of your reign so far? Is it Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak?
Well, I must have. I mean, when Liz Truss came in, I thought this was one of those pranks that people do on your first day at work. So she can't be the Prime Minister, sort of an action figure, sort of. But I think Rishi is a very enthusiastic fellow.
Well, there we are. Is the correct answer, which means King Charles III, congratulations, you are our new Prime Minister.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm ready for my prime ministerial speech. I'm going to step out of number 10. Larry the cat will look out with great admiration, and I'm going to rub my hands and say, right then. And then we'll have another climate summit, and I'll jolly well go and make my own decision on it.
King Charles III, thanks so much for joining us on Times Radio.
Thank you. It's been a blast. Respect.